Hey everyone, welcome to today's Program Yourself Thin podcast. Today we're talking about, are you suffering from diet or delusion disorder? Right? Some of the signs that you may be include, do you think that you're going to start a diet on Monday or whatever day you may choose and think you're going to be 100% perfect with it until you reach your goal weight? If you do, you might be suffering from diet or delusion disorder. Do you think that you're going to succeed to lose weight with a diet or approach that you have tried tens to hundreds of times in the past unsuccessfully? Do you think that this all of a sudden is going to work for you? You may be suffering from diet or delusion disorder. Are you planning to lose weight in a way that no one you know has ever actually successfully kept weight off with? This could include keto, Weight Watchers, intermittent fasting, counting calories, working out really hard. Because if you are, you may be suffering from diet or delusion disorder, and on and on and on. So, again, the main point is this, that if you think that something that has not worked for you for decades is all of a sudden going to work, how else would we explain this other than delusion? If you think you know exactly what to do, but you just got to force yourself to do it, is that not delusional? I think the quicker you realize that you've been literally brainwashed by the diet industry to believe in a method of weight loss that doesn't work for you, doesn't work for anyone you know, and that the solution is not to go deeper into that strategy that doesn't work, because that's the equivalent of running even faster, running east, looking for a sunset, running harder, looking for the sunset, peeling your eyes even more to look for it. You're never going to find it. So it's not about doubling down on what doesn't work. That's not how you're going to get better results. The solution is to free yourself of this diet mindset, of this diet approach, and start to find a new way to go about your weight loss. And the good news is that there's a very easy way to do this. And it starts by realizing the way you approach your weight should be the same way you would approach anything that you want to get good at, where you would slowly and systematically start to work on different aspects that would allow you to master your weight, your mindset, within that, your motivation, your how to deal with your habits, how to deal with your emotions, how to change your thinking, how to maintain your success as you move forward, how to influence your identity and self-image, your lifestyle, the habits that allow you to live as a thin, healthy person, your sleep patterns, your hydration levels, your relaxation, your breathing, your nourishment, your movement, your meditation, your gratitude, and then ultimately your eating. But not just to follow a plan blindly, but to craft a way of eating that resonates with you and works for you. And if you consistently work on these skills 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years from now, you've mastered how to live at your goal weight easily and comfortably, as opposed to trying to hack your way there with these diets, which never works. So if you are suffering from diet or delusion disorder, the answer and the solution is to wake up and realize that dieting does not work and start to focus on mastering your weight and all the little things that allow you to do that. And if you have no idea how to do this, click the link in my bio, go get the hypnosis session I give you, watch the video I made for you, and read the emails I send you, and I'll show you how. Okay, it's easier than you think. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask them. It's on a nice Friday. Here we are on a Friday. Everyone likes Fridays, right? I hope. What's up, Katie? How's it going? Yeah. Feeling silly today. Diet or delusion disorder. Is that a thing? I should trademark that. It's so funny. Maybe I'm being too offensive to dieters. I don't know. Don't mean to be. What is it? Love the dieter, hate the diet. That's kind of how it goes. But yeah, if anyone's got any questions, I know for a lot of people, this is kind of a big weekend because a lot of people on Monday or Sunday more will say, that's it. March, spring's coming. Time to get on time to get on track. March 1st and April 1st are two of the biggest months. A lot of people don't know that. Two of the biggest months for people starting their weight loss. So yeah. So anyway, so if you are all thinking about starting your weight loss journey on Monday, what are you thinking? I was working on a presentation. Oh boy, the numbers. Talk about diet or delusion. Good Lord. Some of the numbers of weight loss are really pretty discouraging. What do I see? The average number of diets a person attempts to use to lose weight over their lifetime, 126. Right? It maps out about 2 a year, for most of your adult life. Yeah. But that's how it goes. But it doesn't have to be so hard. There's easier ways to do things. But I will tell you while I got a minute here before maybe no one has questions. That's okay too. But working on the old YouTube channel. So if you're not checking out my YouTube channel, I am working on those videos now. So that is Jim Katsoulis is that YouTube channel. Some longer form content. So the video I'll be doing next is how to program your mind to lose weight. And that will be up this weekend. So go check it out if you're into this sort of content, if you're into this stuff. And yeah, I guess go like, comment, and subscribe as I try to get the YouTube. I don't watch a lot of YouTube videos. I don't really watch a lot of social media. Probably TikTok's my main one. If I had to pick one social media, that's kind of the main one I use, I think. Well, I write Reddit. I use a lot of Reddit, like the Reddit. But yeah, TikTok's probably my favorite video one. So I hope they keep it going. It's kind of in a limbo, It is illegal, TikTok. They're just going to ignore it, I guess, though. But it is still, technically, it's illegal. So it is kind of this weird place, from what I understand. But maybe I don't understand it right either. But yeah, if anyone's any questions, feel free to ask them. No one's got any questions, forever hold your peace. I might pop out of here. I got a lot of work to do. For those of you in the Thrive program, new month tomorrow, so you'll get your new success planner tomorrow, which will be out, tomorrow. Oh, yeah, Katie said the many YouTube recap videos after each episode of Severance are wild. No, I appreciate that off topic because no one's saying anything anyway, so I'm probably about to get out of here. But I was saying that to my wife. I'm like, I even before I started watching this season, I'm like, I gotta watch. I was ready to watch the whole last season over again because I'm like, I don't really think I understand what's going on here. And then I was like, I should probably just watch some YouTube recaps. But that's a great idea. I got to do that because I got to be honest, this season, I found myself getting a little annoyed. I'm like, I'm not really sure what's going on. And I feel like a little irritated sometimes. I felt that way a little bit last season, maybe about midway through. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh my God. Now I'm kind of getting it. But yeah, I think that's a great suggestion. Yeah, I know I'm missing some. I have no idea what's going on. I'm not going to lie. Like I'm getting very confused. And I know it's because I watched last season and then 6-8 months went by. By the end of last season, I was like, oh my God, it's all come together. It is great. And then I forgot kind of everything. So yeah, I'm going to do that. Let's see. Mustafa says we're supposed to start fasting for Ramadan. I don't know how I'm going to manage, Jim. Yeah, Ramadan fasting's tough. I remember I used to do, when I was Greek Orthodox, I remember we used to do fasting and that was just fasting meat. And that was really hard. So yeah, Ramadan fasting's intense. But I mean, the lesson to learn out of that is that when you're properly motivated, you can kind of do anything. I deal with a number of people that fast for some reason or another for spiritual reasons. And it's amazing when you have a higher motivation, what you're able to do. So Mustafa, how many times have you done it? How many times have you fasted for Ramadan? Right? You always find a way because you're really motivated. So I'm sure you'll figure it out. You'll do it. E. Pickett says, I can remember a time in my life when I was in great shape, but I don't know what I weighed then. Thanks. Thanks, Karen. The old cowboy hat. I can remember, which by the way, I don't know, other people I stream all over the place, but on TikTok, you can make like little funny things. Like I'll put a cowboy hat on me and like a mustache, whatever. But it's like life's a funny thing. Because there's TikTok channels. I don't know if this is as popular as it was, but in TikTok, there's people that literally, they're just there and people will just keep like putting funny, goofy shit on them. And every time they do it, they just like say something. So it's like if you put a cowboy hat, I'm like, yeah, that's just something like that, right? It's like, they call it, you can make people do stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking crazy, but you should look this up. I forget what it's called, but it's kind of funny. I mean, it's funny for a minute, but people literally do this all day long, just letting people put silly shit on them and then they react that way. I don't know. You don't know what I'm talking about. It makes no sense. But if you ever see this, it's a crazy world out there. And they'll have like millions of viewers at a time doing this. It's funny. Anyways, okay, back to e-picket. I can remember a time in my life when I was in great shape, but I don't know what I weighed then. How can I use that to get back there? Trying to determine goal weight. I think it was about 185, but I'm not sure. I love this question. And again, I promise you the training's coming. I got a little backed up here, but the goal weight training is coming. But what I will tell you is that you're not going to like this because I know, we all want to hear a specific number. We want the number, but the number really is secondary to how you're feeling. And that number really is changeable depending on where you're at in your life. So what I would suggest, e-picket, is in my mind, I would go back to that time in my life and I would tap into like a time in my life when I was in great shape. I would go back in my mind to that time in your life and I would connect to what being in great shape felt like. Listen, folks, the fucking number on a scale, it doesn't mean anything to your mind. I hate to tell you this. It means nothing to your mind. It's this arbitrary measurement that we've been conditioned to focus on. We've been on the earth for millions of years and there's no scale. You had no sense of what you weighed. For the entire history, we've been evolving this biology, this brain. There was no weight. There was no number that we would assign. Oh, that wasn't a quantitative measure that we focused on. I'll give you an example. Imagine if all of a sudden, instead of weight, we measured square footage of skin, right? Imagine we just all of a sudden, weight's outdated. Now what's a lot more accurate is we measure square footage of skin, right? And so I'm pulling a number out of a hat here. I'm at maybe we do square inches, maybe a bit more accurate. Okay. Square inches of skin. Oh yeah. I'm at 86 square inches. 96 square inches. Right. See how that has no meaning to you? Your weight doesn't have any intrinsic meaning to you. So again, I know weight means something and it's a marker, and I'm not saying ignore it. But what I'm saying is it's not the primary thing that's going to motivate you. So if you are lucky enough to have a time in your life when you were in great shape as an adult, go back and remember all the intrinsic realities of that, how you felt, how you were able to move, the strength, the flexibility, your stamina, and how that showed up in your life. How your clothes fit, how you felt walking around, how it felt to go up and down stairs, how it felt to crouch down. What's great shape? You see, these are meaningful things to your mind and body. And I would focus in on those because, again, the goal weight, it's fine to have some general idea, but it doesn't even matter. You don't know, folks, what your goal weight is. I can almost guarantee you don't all really know what a goal weight you really want, most of you. And so don't worry so much about the number. E-picket. Start to move in that direction, but start to pick non-number related goals as you move forward. So it's not like, I want to get to X amount of pounds. Again, that's part of it. But the bigger part ought to be, I want to feel lighter. I want to feel more energized. I'll tell you what I think. I'll give you what I say to myself. My motivation for wanting to be light, and I like being thin. I like being light. I like it. I find it's way easier for me. Everything seems to be better when I feel lighter. Now, again, there's a bottom level of that too, then I'd feel weak. And so there's a sweet spot for me. And what I'm focused in on is not like a number on a scale. It's really more about, I just feel life's easier for me. I feel lighter. It's easier for me to kind of hold myself up. I feel more energized. I feel like it's easier to move. It's easier for me to get up out of bed. It's easier for me to sleep. I sleep more soundly. My body's more calm and relaxed. Because again, the weight, in order to put a lot of weight on, you got to eat a lot of food. And when you eat a lot of food, your body's fucking exhausted. because it has to burn all this food. So a lot of us are wasting a lot. Digestion is a huge source uses a huge source of energy. So we're constantly, I remember this. Why was I tired all the time? I mean, I was goddamn digesting food. I was eating 6 times a day. I was constantly digesting food. And now I eat a lot less. And it's like my body doesn't have to work as hard. I have more energy for my brain, more energy to balance my moods. I don't have these ups and down cycles of energy. So, you know what I mean? Like I give my goal weight has a lot more meaning to me than just this number that I'm picking. And I would suggest you all do the same, because a number in itself, as I said, it has as much meaning to you as just square inches of skin you have on your body. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a measurement. I hope that makes sense. Katie, I bet if I rewatch season 1, that would help. Yeah, that helps. You know, what did I rewatch? I love that anyways. Like, I forget what it was that I rewatched. Knowing it though. Especially Severance. I'm gonna do it. Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah, Katie says, yeah, the deep dives would blow your mind because I feel dumb seeing what others catch. I'm like that too. I'm like that so much. Like I do that sometimes with like really good movies. I'm like, oh my God, I missed the entire movie. I'm like, I don't know what I was watching. I'm classic. I just miss so much in shows and movies. So yeah, that always helps. I don't know what people are doing though. Why are they so good at catching that stuff? It's weird. Marilyn says, thoughts on dealing with binge eating on a calorie deficit? Yeah, well, my first thought is if you're binge eating and you're on a calorie deficit, what's your deficit? You know, so again, I mean, the average dieter is going to cut 60, 70% of their calories out on day one and try and keep that up. And I'm not exaggerating. The average American adult's eating 3,500 calories a day. And all of a sudden you go, what? The classic was 1,200 calories is what you're going to go to. So that's also 70% reduction in calories. That's drastic. That's overwhelming. So when you cut 50, 60, 70% of your normal calories out, that's how you binge. So never mind, hey, why am I binging? I don't understand. I cut the calories down, but now I'm binging. Yeah, because if you cut that much calories out, you're just cranking up your hunger. So, you know, again, the answer I'm going to give you is one you're not going to like because you want to lose weight quickly. So you want to create as big a calorie deficit as you possibly can. But the bigger the calorie deficit you create, the quicker you're going to binge on food, most likely. So the answer, the one you're not going to like, is that you reduce the calorie deficit. So you're probably cutting this much out. Just cut this much out. But Jim, I won't lose as much weight as quick. No, probably not. But you'll lose weight a lot longer because you won't binge and you'll be able to stick with it longer. Dieters are always overdoing everything. So that's my answer to that one. Rose says, I struggle with Ramadan as I have PCOS and I have shakes every time I fast. Yeah, I mean, it's tough times. I mean, Ramadan, you know, that's something started back in the day when people were eating normal. All of a sudden you eat a standard American diet and you got to do Ramadan. It's hard. It's really tough, really tough. And unfortunately, you know, this spiritual practice is going to contribute most likely. If you're eating a standard American diet, the spiritual practice is going to lead to more binge eating when it's all done, is what I've seen. So yeah, it's tough. I mean, now again, if what I would do is I'm a big fan of bringing things that are really important to you into your process. So again, I find it interesting to fast for a month and then eat bullshit the rest of the time. So again, you know, in a spiritual sense, you know, your body is your temple. You know, if you're really serious about this stuff, be serious about it all year long. And then fasting won't be as difficult. But yeah, if you're eating a standard American diet, then you're popping right into Ramadan, it's tough. Yeah, you're going to shake. You're going to all sorts of ill effects, you know, of course. You know, it's a huge thing you're doing all of a sudden. And it's like, again, if you're eating like a standard American diet, you know, just terrible, and then you're going straight into, you know, fasting, that's a huge, huge difference. So I say, you know, if you want Ramadan to be more comfortable, the secret is to the rest of the year, you know, get out of the standard American diet, improve your diet. And then it's not as big of a difference when you go into Ramadan mode. But yeah, it's tough. What's up, Ken? Ken says I get a sleep score every morning on my watch. I can easily correlate this number to how I feel next day. Oh, yeah, that's great. Yeah, when you track your sleep, I understand the sleep scores are guesstimates at best. They're not the most accurate, but they start to notice patterns, and again, it's just one more marker. I think, again, sleep, and program yourself, then sleep is the number one lifestyle habit to focus on. It's going to have the biggest impact on your weight, health, happiness, ultimately, I believe. So I think it's really, really important to get your sleep. So great job, Ken. Yeah, as you pay attention to that, you'll get better at it. Yeah, it's eliminated my nighttime snacking completely. Yeah, it'll happen. Once you pay attention to your sleep, I think very, very quickly, it's hard not to, like, if you start paying attention to your sleep, almost automatically, you'll start recognizing what an impact the evening eating is having on it. That was my biggest thing. Oh my God. I was talking about, I was a bad sleeper. Part of being a bad sleeper is I used to eat right until I went to bed. And again, as I said, digestion is a huge use of energy. So, you eat this food and then you go to bed and, you're ready to sleep, but your body's running a marathon, it's just burning this food, and it affects you in a lot of negative ways. One of the key ones is for you to fall asleep, your core temperature drops a couple degrees. And so when you eat a bunch of food, your body is burning that. And so it actually increases your core temperature a little bit. So that's one aspect, but then it's just your body's just working to digest this food. And so a lot of times eating before bed will give you a lower sleep score, will cause you to have not as restful a night of sleep for most people. So yeah, that's great, Kent. And again, eliminating the evening snacking is just a wonderful thing to do for yourself. That's really where, again, if you're going to focus on any habit to influence or change, I think the evening snacking is really the top of the list, because not only are you going to reduce calories that way, but you're going to also simultaneously influence your sleep in a positive way. So it's a twofer. And if you can cut calories and you can influence your sleep, just influencing your sleep in a positive way, that alone is going to support your weight loss as well. So that's always a good decision. Yep. What's up, Don? Yep. Happy Friday. Pleasure eats. Yep. For sure. One says, how do I know how much to increase my calorie intake for it to be more sustainable? Well, it's a great question. And I mean, the answer is right there in front of you. But again, you think like a dieter, but it's like the answer is you've got to check yourself. So I couldn't give you a number here, because whatever number I give you might be a number that works for me, but it may or may not work for you. So what I would suggest, Marilyn, is that you just experiment, increase your calorie intake a bit and see how you feel. This is why I hate the diet. I hate everything about dieting pretty much. But one of my biggest pet peeves of dieting is this idea that, you start your diet and you got your average calorie consumption. Okay. And now you're going to go on a diet and you're going to drastically create a caloric deficit, right? A drastic caloric deficit, because you want to lose weight quick. And so you do this drastic cut. And then the idea is that this fantasy fucking fairy tale idea that you're going to bring it up to some maintenance level at some point, right? 95% of people that lose weight on a diet put it back on. So this fairy tale magical idea that you're going to bring it back up to maintenance has no basis in reality. But none of you care about that anyways, because you just want to lose weight. So I don't like this idea that you're going to drastically reduce calories. Then once you lose the weight, then you're going to figure out where your maintenance is. So in Program Yourself Thin, we start with where you're at and we just slowly cut the calories down until you get to your goal weight. That makes so much more sense to me, but I'm weird. I don't know. So yeah. So Marilyn, you just got to kind of experiment and see, how do you feel? And the idea, imagine like what you want to look for, I think. So just give you a little more context. I think when you want to lose weight, you're looking to be slightly hungry. Right? You're going to be hungry. Like you're going to feel a little hungrier than normal because you're eating less than you normally do. And so part of that is that literally you're consuming less calories, less food. So your body's going to send you a hunger signal. And then psychologically, it's not what you normally do. So that feels a little weird. So, you can expect that you're going to feel a little bit of hunger, but you don't want to feel a lot of bit of hunger. If you feel a lot of bit of hunger, you're going to ultimately quit. You're not going to stick with that. You're never going to win a fight against your hunger. So you got to manage your hunger in a very strategic way. And we want to cut it down comfortably. We can deal with a mild state of hunger. I'm in a mild state of hunger all day long, but I love it. You know what I mean? It's comfortable for me. I'm used to it now. I like it. I feel like I feel hungry when you feel hungry, and again, not starving. I'm not starving in any way, but I'm slightly hungry. I could always eat, but I like this space because I feel like my senses are sharper. I feel like I'm lighter. I feel like I'm more energized. I feel good this way. I like being in this place. And so I think you got to get comfortable with this if you want to master your weight. And it just takes some awareness. It takes some, you got to figure out for you what those numbers are. And it's relative. So it's like when you first start, if you do the typical dieter thing, you cut 50% of your calories out, you're gonna be starving. You're gonna be really, really hungry. You get grumpy, frustrated, annoyed. Your willpower goes down because that runs on glucose and food. So that's a very unpleasant way to do it. What I want to do is I want to slowly cut the calories down and then kind of get used to it. You habituate to it. And then once I'm kind of comfortable with this level, then I cut a little bit more out, normalize to it. So again, you can get down here. Again, dieters think they're going to go down here and then come up to here. But I consider I'd rather go down to here slowly, habituating the whole way so it feels normal and comfortable. That makes sense. Yeah. So Samboni asks Ken, how did he eliminate night snacking? Well, Ken's in the program, so he's got a lot of strategies and tools at his disposal. Again, any of you here that want to actually lose weight and keep it off, I'd suggest that you click the link in my bio and get the hypnosis session I give you. Watch the video I made. I'm putting a new training together. It's kind of fun. So that should be ready next week. But right now there's a training there. It's really good. It goes through all this stuff and explain it to you. Katie says, I'm used to the hunger now, but it was tough for a few weeks. Doesn't even register now. Thanks to Jim. Yeah, exactly, Katie. So again, I mean, hunger is a relative thing, folks, and you've got to work with it. You've got to manage and massage it. You got to become friends with your hunger. You dieters are at war with your hunger, and it's causing all kinds of problems. So there's different ways to do it. But again, dieting has taught you to fight against your hunger, which is a really bad strategy. Don't you think? I don't know what you all think about weight loss. I mean, I do, but sometimes I always wonder, I can't have this perspective of what someone typical dieter landing in my world now thinks when they hear this stuff. I think for most people, it's kind of overwhelming because it's just out of the blue. You're like, what? Don't diet. Everything I know about weight loss is wrong. Pretty much. Why do you think you're not losing weight? Why do you all think you're not losing weight? If any of mine's saying that. Look at Kent with the wisdom. How Ken stop snacking at night? The anticipation of a good night's sleep stronger than the anticipation of snacks. Boy, there's so much wisdom in there. See, because you dieters, you take your pleasure and you get rid of it. And you say, I'm going to lose weight by getting rid of all my pleasure in service of the ultimate pleasure when I lose my weight. And Program Yourself, then we find more pleasure than the food. And there's an example of it. It was exactly my experience too, that sleeping became way more pleasurable than the eating at night. Waking up the next morning and know that I didn't eat the night before, I was so proud of myself that became more pleasurable. And then as I kept that up, then the weight loss started happening. That became more pleasurable. So, yeah. What's up, Biggie? Happy Friday, Jim, as usual. Listen whenever I can. Yep, that's great. Yeah. Kent is wise. Kent is, again, he's a savant with this program, I would say. That's a good one, Katie. Yeah, wisdom chases me, but I'm faster, as they say. That's a good one. I've never heard that. But yeah, if anyone, why do you think, if you're struggling, if you want to lose weight and you're not, why do you think that is? If you could write a word or two or just a couple words, and if you don't mind, if you want to, why do you think you aren't losing weight or can't lose weight? What do you think the reason is? What's the belief you have that you can't lose weight because? What do you think the reason is? I'm always curious to know, because it does change. It's very interesting. It kind of depends on what diets are out there and what stuff's floating around in the ether. And with influencers, there's always patterns of this. But what do you all think? I mean, anyone that wants to lose weight that's not, I mean, what do you think it is? No willpower? No plan? Don't know what to do? No. Karen said, I don't like the feeling of being full anymore. And okay, that was before I asked this question. But Tracy said, I thought I couldn't. Turns out I wasn't moving or eating less. Yeah, I thought I couldn't. Okay. Yeah. I think that's a big one, right? A lot of people think they can't lose weight. Addicted to sugar. Yep. Addicted to sugar. Eating is my strongest coping mechanism and fear of interest from physical attraction. Yep. That's a big one. I lose my energy or feel in pain. Sure. Sure. Because I have too much mental baggage holding me back. Yep. Yeah. So it's very interesting. These are great answers. Wow. Because they're deeper. So I'm very impressed by those answers. But at the same time, it also reveals why diets are never going to work for you. How's a diet? What diet out there is going to help you deal with your mental baggage that holds you back? What diet out there is going to help you so that you don't lose energy or feel in pain when you start it? What diet's going to help you with the fact that eating might be your strongest coping mechanism? What diet out there is going to help you with your fear that you're going to get interest from the opposite sex and that triggers pain in you? What diet's going to help you with your belief that you don't believe you can lose weight? What diet out there is going to help you deal with your addiction to sugar, short of just going cold turkey with it? So if you wonder why you haven't been able to lose weight, because I think all these reasons are completely valid, by the way. I think these are real legitimate. I love these answers, and I appreciate you for writing those in. And I think they're very instructive of real these are the things I run into every day, and I believe them. My question is, what diet is going to help you with any of those? All those things, those are all mindset issues. What diet is going to help you with your mindset? I ask this every day. I've never get an answer on this one. I never get a diet and a mindset diet answer. I get bright lines, Noom. Come on. There's really nothing out there. So again, I say this to you just to reinforce once again that really the biggest issue with your weight is your mindset. And the reason you haven't been able to change it is because you have not learned how to change your mindset. You don't understand your mindset. Just willpower and just fighting against yourself isn't changing your mindset. And that's what you've been trying to do. So the biggest reason you're struggling with your weight is because there's a lack of knowledge. There's a lack of information in your head about how to change your mindset. But once you understand how to do it, again, you actually have a plan to handle these things. Eating is my strongest coping mechanism. So the answer for you, Stars Bright, is that you learn other coping mechanisms that work better that don't involve food. So what are those? Yeah, when we teach them in the program, I'm not saying I'm the only person in the world that teaches coping mechanisms that don't involve food. So you search it out or get in the program, but it's like that's more important than getting a diet plan. Do you see? Fear of interest from physical attraction from the opposite sex, very common in women. So how do you deal with that? Well, there's no diet that's helping you do that. So again, it's more psychological. So let the answers focus on that level. It's the same for all of you. The main reason you're struggling to lose weight is your mindset. It's not that you don't have an eating plan that works. Rebecca, I lose my energy or feel in pain. That implies that you're doing extreme diets, which was what most people do. Most people associate pain to losing weight because you associate the only way to lose weight is to diet. And diets are extreme and uncomfortable and painful, and you lose your energy and they suck and you're frustrated and you're annoyed and you're irritable and all the rest of it. So now you associate pain to losing weight. Even though losing weight, eating healthier, living healthier is the greatest thing you can do for yourself. It's the number one thing you do to increase your quality of life. And the diet industry has conditioned you to associate pain to that because they've said the only way to do it is to do an extreme painful thing. No pain, no gain. That's fucking bullshit. So, Zamoni says, my digestive system so slow makes me tired, lazy. I have removed a lot of sugar and carbs. Yeah. I mean, a lot of times, and good job, Zamboni Ricks, you recognize our digestive system, usually it's what we're putting into the digestive system is the bigger issue than the digestive system itself. So it's good that you're recognizing removing sugar and carbs. Now make sure you add in lots of fiber, whole natural foods, fruits, vegetables, greens, beans. And I think you'll be shocked at how much faster your metabolism can get. Stay for Dessert says, I read that our traumatized inner child is driving us to overeat, and that changed everything. Yeah, I won't do that to her. Yeah. I agree. I mean, so much of in Program Yourself Thin, one of the things we do, one aspect of it is based on transactional analysis, where transactional analysis is the concept that we have 3 ego states within us, that we have a child, a parent, and an adult. Now, all of us have a child and a parent because all of us were children at one point and all of us were raised by someone. Not all of us have a well-defined, well-formed adult, though, because a lot of us grew up and we didn't have an adult role model. And when it comes to food and our health, a lot of people had no adult role model to learn from, meaning someone who is thin, healthy, happy, loved being that way. So you have this child parent dynamic, and it's not the best parent. And when it comes to weight loss, you don't have the good version of your parent in there. You have the toxic version of your parent. And so you're locked in this battle of this very punitive, aggressive, belittling parent trying to force you to do the right thing. And then you have this childlike part of you that's always rebelling against it and always trying to self-soothe through food. So it's a very difficult dynamic. So Program Yourself Thin, so much of what we're doing is developing that adult within us. And the difference being, just in a real simplistic way, is that right now, for you to try and get yourself to lose weight, you're always very mean to yourself. You're always trying to put yourself down, belittle yourself, make yourself feel like shit to get yourself to do the right thing. That's kind of your main motivation strategy. And in Program Yourself Thin, we develop the adult, and the adult's very encouraging, supportive, nurturing, mentoring, guiding. So, we know you're going to make mistakes. And when those mistakes happen, instead of responding the way you always do to yourself, where you beat yourself, hey, fuck, see, I told you, you fucking piece of shit, you fat bastard. In fact, they see you deserve it. Oh, God. So sad. Instead, we meet mistakes. So that's, hey, it's okay. What can we learn from this? What can we do better next time? It's okay. Hey, you did something. Let's keep moving forward. It's fine. Of course, you're going to make mistakes. We're doing something kind of new here. Great job taking action. Nice job. We keep getting better each and every day. I'm proud of you. Oh. They almost make me want to cry. Like, this is what I'm talking about. This to me is the bigger story here anyways. This is the part that, to me personally, this is the bigger piece of what I love helping people with more than watching them lose weight. And I love watching them lose weight because I know they're probably going to live longer and be more mobile and independent and all this great stuff while they're alive. But it's really the emotional piece. It's what they're living day in and day out inside their head. It's changing that internal dialogue from having that shitty mean voice that's always fucking nipping at you constantly, and instead having this voice that's supportive and warm and encouraging, guiding you through your life. Because that changes everything. It changes the entire quality of your life. And that's what I'm obsessed with. So yeah, I get it. Stay for Dessert. I get it. Karen says, do you believe too many carbs, even if low calories, stalls weight loss? No, I don't. I think it depends on what carbs you're talking about. I hate this conversation so much. And and I'm not blaming anyone because we're just all conditioned with this stuff. But the carb protein thing, to me, it makes me insane. Because most societies on Earth for all of history have survived primarily on carbs. That's been the primary source of fuel for humans on Earth. And they've demonized carbs because, again, a lot of people conflate carbs with fat. So, well, I can't eat carbs. Well, what do you mean by carbs? Oh, bread, donuts, cookies, potato chips. What I think of carbs, I think of like, I had potatoes. I had potatoes for dinner the other night. Potatoes aren't unhealthy. Vegetables, whole grains. No, I don't think that's going to stall your weight loss out. I think processed foods are going to stall your weight loss out. I think trying to eat a fucking 1,000,000 pounds of protein a day and just eating meat is going to stall your weight loss out because it's not going to satisfy you and you're not going to feel good and you're going to end up eating bullshit. It'll be the wrong carbs. So now again, I mean, listen, everyone's different at the same time. So I get it, but I find most people conflate carbs with fat. And we get to a point where it's like, again, people say, well, I don't want to eat fruit because of the sugar. I don't want to eat vegetables because of the carbs. And it's like, that's when I know. We've just reached, people just their brains are flipped inside out. And I get it. I think that's part of it's a cruel world out there, and there's a lot of forces at play trying to confuse you because there's a lot of money to be made with you being overweight. You being overweight, the more overweight you are, the more of a consumer you are, the more money they're making off of you. I was thinking that yesterday, and especially this day and age, I was thinking, because I'm a vegetarian, and I was talking with someone about the price of food, and I was like, good Lord, I'm like, it's just getting more and more expensive. I'm like, I don't even eat meat. I walk by the meat aisle sometimes. I look at the problem. Holy shit. I'm like, a fucking chunk of meat is like my meals for like 3-4 days. I'm like, good Lord. I don't know how that, and then even junk food stuff and fast food stuff, even it's all gone up with so much in price. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I get it back in the day, like it was cheap and I got that, but now it's really expensive. And I'm like, good Lord, like you're spending a lot of money to be overweight, but it's an addiction model. I mean, people ask, oh, you believe in food addiction? Yeah, I do. It's kind of like that, it's like, oh, here, try it out, for free, and then you come back and pay a lot of money. And I think that's what they've done with the food for you all. But I mean, just look, because I could be, oh my God, Jim, it's $500 to your program, because it's $500 now, by the way. But it's like $500. First of all, you're gonna save that money probably just in the 8 weeks. That's just 8 weeks. But go tally up what you spend on food every week. At most of you, a lot of people spending a lot of money on fucking junk food stuff and processed food stuff. But yeah, so I don't know, too many carbs. I don't even know what that means anymore, because I don't know what people mean by carbs anymore. So I feel like I'm in a different world than a lot of people. Most of my diet is carbs. So, well, what? I mean, I'm not, I mean, flour. I don't eat a lot of flour. I don't eat a lot of processed carbs. I'm mostly eating carbs. That's the majority of my diet. X says, thank you so much as always. So supportive and inspiring. Well, you're welcome. Thank you. That's why I'm here. When I cut out too much carbs, my body feels reaching out for something, then create gas in the stomach like something missing. When I eat 100 grams of rice or one air fried potato, my body feels full, no stomach issues. Yeah. Again, I think people, again, you can almost take any diet you know of and just look at it with a cynical eye. And I think the idea of trying to cut carbs out completely is a great strategy to get you to crave carbs crazily. Your body wants carbs. Do you not fucking, I mean, you all done keto at this point. I know every one of you's tried keto. Did your cravings for carbs ever go away? Don't say they did. Don't you dare tell me they did, unless you're still keto, by the way. Talk about diet or delusion. I should add that to the list. I'm going to do a YouTube video on the diet or delusion, because I get on here. I just riff, but I'm like, I could make a diet or delusion list of probably 100 things, but one of the biggest ones as well is people, no, Jim, diets work. Oh yeah. Are you at your goal weight? Well, no, but I did the diet and I lost 50 pounds. Well, where are you at now? Well, I put the 50 pounds back on, but the diet works. So it's like, I can't tell you the number of people that, yeah, the carb cravings went away. Okay. So how's it going? How's the keto going? Well, I'm not on it now. Well, I guess they didn't go away then, did they? Guess they didn't go away. Stop bullshitting yourself. I don't know. The diet industry just makes you fight with your body, makes you fight with yourself, bullshit yourself, live in denial. It's all sorts of stuff. Anyways. Yeah, X is right. I think we have to just experiment what is suitable amount for ourselves. I agree. You all have to figure out for yourself. That's another thing of the diet that I try to impart every day, is that with the diets, it's kind of like this one size fits all plan, right? Everyone's supposed to be keto. Everyone's going to thrive with keto. I saw a guy yesterday. He runs a keto group, and this guy's a fucking asshole. But he runs a keto group, and I was talking one time, and he's like, I was telling him about the weight mastery pyramid. He goes, nah, my keto group, they wouldn't even give a shit about this. Right, look at this guy. He's 70 pounds overweight. I'm like, how the fuck are you running a weight loss group? But that's where we're at. And he'll get on there every day talking about how great keto is. And I'm just like, it's bizarro world. Talk about diet or delusion. I mean, it's so deep. Oh my God. Sorry. Let me get this so upset. Yeah. Cutting out sugar helps though. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Don't completely cut out foods group like fats and carbs. Yeah, folks. Don't cut out complete macronutrient groups. That's rule number one, I would suggest. Don't cut any group of macronutrients out. But they did cut one group of macronutrients out if you want to consider fiber a macronutrient. But that's the biggest nutrient that's been cut out of your diet. And it's the number one thing causing you to be hungry all the time. So Eva said, I just had a whole week of binging. I just had a whole week of binge eating because of my girl problem. And now I'm sick of myself. Yeah, well, okay. It's not a girl problem. It's a girl, what's the word? Gift. But I get it, Eva. Like I have this conversation all the time with women too, that it's like, yeah, your period's probably going to affect your hunger level. So instead of like getting so depressed and upset every week of the month when you start eating more because of it, just relax and realize it all kind of balances out ultimately. And it's not about that week. It's about the other 3 weeks that's more important. But again, dieting gets you in this all or nothing mindset. So all of a sudden you eat extra because you had your period and it's like, oh, I blew it. I fucking blew it. So every month you're going to blow it when you go into it with that mindset, Don't be sick of yourself, okay? Love yourself and understand why it happens, okay? And then strategize with it. Karen says, okay, good. I know that, but sometimes I feel guilty eating a lot of carbs. Well, again, I don't know what you mean by carbs exactly. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's really important that we get clear on what carbs are, because I promise you, if you're a dieter and you're running those circles, your brain's been turned into mashed potatoes. You're very conflated with what carbs are, and I can almost guarantee, because what happens, again, you take an all or nothing mindset and you aim it at carbs and you completely want to cut all carbs out. That's what you're going to want to do. I know it. And so what kind of carbs? If you go and tell me, oh my God, I ate 4 potatoes yesterday. Great. I ate 4 baked potatoes plain. Oh my God, you'll be fine. You're totally going to be fine. Like, oh my God, I just ate a giant bag of potato chips. Okay, well, that's not carbs. That's fat. Yeah, it's carbs too. I understand that, but it's the fat. That's the problem. Potatoes aren't a problem because they're calorie not dense. There's not a lot of calories in a potato. You take that same potato and turn it into potato chips, and you've quadrupled the fat content, the calorie content of it. So, oh, okay. So Karen says, I had a Kaiser roll today and felt guilty. I know it's ridiculous. Okay. Well, that's a different story. So here's what I'm saying. I wouldn't want to eat a Kaiser. Now, again, Karen, we have clean and pleasure days. So if this is a pleasure meal and you love Kaiser rolls and you look forward to it and you eat it and you love it, great. Keep it. Okay. But it's like a lot of times when people go, I don't want to eat carbs. I don't want to eat carbs. And it's like, okay, I would take a Kaiser roll and I would switch that for Ezekiel bread. That'd be the first thing I'd look to replace it with a healthier carb that's still in the bread category. And then I'd look to switch that from, again, I don't know. I mean, it depends. I don't know what your cravings are. I don't know what your eating plan is. But yeah, Kaiser roll to me sounds like bad planning more than anything. I wouldn't want to eat Kaiser rolls. Let me put it that way. If I want to lose weight, I don't want to eat a lot of Kaiser rolls. There's better forms of carbs. So that's bread, that's flour. You should separate flour from carbs. I know it. I know that it depends how we want to look at it. But carbs is such a big category that once you start demonizing carbs, you're really setting yourself up for problems. I promise you are. So get specific. Flour is an issue. So I would make that distinction, Karen. If I were you, I would say flour. Now that I hear it's a Kaiser roll, I would say flour. I'm having an issue with flour. I want to cut flour down. And once you say I want to cut flour down, well, there's a tons of carbs you could eat instead that are great for you. Yeah, it says sometimes girls say no to carbs like rice, and then they binge on cakes and bakery. Yeah, that's very common. It's very common. Yeah, that's the licensing effect. Katie says, I eat potatoes 5-6 days a week, and I've been consistently losing lately. Love carbs. There we go, Katie. That's great. I know. I all of a sudden rediscovered potatoes. I'm just loving it. Loving potatoes. I had potatoes the other night for dinner. That was my dinner. and I loved it. It was really good. There's nothing wrong with potatoes, folks. Karen said, grapes are my new favorite snack. Yeah, good. Careful, the sugar change. The grapes are some of the more sugary induced ones, but again, grapes are, again, everything's relative though. Grapes are better than a Kaiser roll. Just be careful with the grapes, not to get too carried away because they can trigger sugar cravings. Program's worth every penny, life changer. Well, thank you. Curveball said you're on YouTube too. I am on YouTube. I have been on YouTube and I have a bunch of like hypnosis videos, but I haven't done a lot of weight loss videos, like a stupid asshole. I don't know. Listen, folks, I'm of the belief that we're all kind of stupid in a lot of ways. And I'm at the top of the list. And I've been doing social media for over 2 years now, but it's like I've never really focused on YouTube. Anyways, I am now though. So better late than never. So yeah, Jim Katsoulis on YouTube. I'm starting to make more longer form videos. And yeah, go check them out. Follow me over there. Jim's the best. Thank you. How long do we have access to the program? Is it on an app or printable through email? You have lifetime access to the program. And I love it now because I don't know, hey, listen, things take a while. I've been working on my business for 20 years and will continue to. But those of you that know me, I'm constantly iterating on, and I finally kind of landed on what I'm moving forward with. And what I'm moving forward with is program yourself, then one offer. I'm not doing the hypnosis anymore because I don't want to help people lose weight. I decided. I thought I was fuck, if they want to lose weight, I'll help them do it. And I'm not, because I don't want to work with those people. You either want to master your weight or you don't. And if you want to master your weight, you get the full program. So yeah, but you get lifetime access to it. Not only do you get lifetime access to it, but I do a live Tuesday call, and you get lifetime access to that too. So you have, to some degree, have a constant access to me, because you can get on those classes and ask questions if you want, and I'll go back and forth with you. And I also have a coaching version if you want to work with me directly, like every week. There's an option to do that. But the main program yourself, then program, there's one program, and yeah, you have lifetime access to it, and there's a ton of stuff in it. So it is there's a membership area they have lifetime access to. And I also use an app on your phone to also deliver the program, so that you have access to other people in the program. It's an easy way for me to kind of communicate with you, but there's also a members area where all the content is as well. And you get lifetime access to all of that. So you can access the program through your phone, iPad, computer, whatever device you use, you have access to it. Now I want a potato. Yeah, right. I was shocked. I don't know. Like I get in and out of potatoes sometimes, but again, that's part of my journey of eating is like, that's why I say this all the time. And those of you that are in the program and have been at it a little while, you're kind of getting it, but it's like how you eat. We're so conditioned to eat crazy that to learn how to eat naturally is a lifelong journey, just to get back to natural eating for us. And for myself, like the other night, I'm like, I literally had potatoes. Now I will let you know, with those potatoes, I had some butter and sour cream with them. So, but that was it. And so, the American brain says, oh my God, that's not gonna be enough. I need some meat. I need some protein. I need more. No, you don't. We've been so conditioned to think about food in such a fucked up way that it's a journey to get back to natural eating, but it's a fun journey, and it makes things easier and easier and easier every step of the way. That's the other piece. So yeah. It says, can you drink alcohol and still lose weight? I mean, technically you can. Weight loss is just about reducing your average calorie consumption. So if you consume less calories than you used to, you're going to lose weight over time. How quickly or slowly it happens, that's another question. So if you just reduced calories and we're still drinking alcohol, you would lose weight. Now, in the real world, though, a lot of times when people drink alcohol, they start to overeat. So, that's a question that you got to take into account. Remember, create a potato in the mail. Oh, create a potato in the mall in the 80s. Create a potato. You have piqued my curiosity. I was in the mall in the 80s too. So what's going on? Create a potato. Create a potato, rock my wall. All right. Give me a picture, please. Give me a picture. Create a potato. Oh, create a potato. I got you. Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't. We didn't have that at my mall, but yeah, yeah. Potato bars were kind of like, I always remember like Wendy's. I used to get potatoes from there and used to like them. Create a potato. I got you. I was curious there. Yeah, I was thinking like potato head or something, but yeah, like a potato bar. That's awesome. Yeah, they need more of those, right? Potatoes are great. Someone was telling me, some Australian guy who lost like 120 pounds eating just potatoes. That's all he did. But again, potatoes are not the enemy. It's potatoes that are fried, potatoes that are got tons of cheese on them, potatoes that are, mashed with butter and cream. It's not the potato. There's really no vegetable that's going to give you weight issues that I know of in its natural form. You're good. So, yeah, it was in New Jersey. All right. Yeah. Create a potato. I feel like it sounds familiar because I feel like, they used to have one. I can't remember the name of it now. I don't know. Food used to be healthier, and now it's just a race to the bottom, but whatever. All right, everyone, I got to get out of here. So again, if you're not in my world, go click the link in my bio, go get the hypnosis session, watch the video, get in my world. Check out my YouTube channel. It's Jim Kitsulis. I'm starting to put long form videos up in there. Go check them out, like them, comment if you want to. What else? Yeah, Andrew Spudfit Taylor. That was his name. Yeah. And Joan's the one that let me know about him. But he seems like a pretty cool guy. And he eventually went from potatoes to all the fruits and vegetables, which I think is the smart move anyways. So I'm glad he got there. But yeah, go check out my YouTube channel. This I do every Monday through Friday. So if you ever have questions about weight, pop on here. I'm happy to help you, usually around noon Eastern. And then this is also a podcast. So it's Program Yourself Thin. It's on all the podcast platforms, and you can go check it out. So, all right, everyone, have a super duper weekend, and we'll talk soon. Bye.